I don't want it to be all sober and heavy. There are many things, positive things, useful things, exciting and creative things that come from living with this and learning how to be more comfortable with it and learning how to have a better life. And that is also something that I'm going to share. The first thing, which I haven't done admittedly as much as I used to, but I have done meditation, and I use some of the physical parts of meditation constantly on a daily basis. Whether I sit there, which can be difficult sometimes because of tics and because of the chaos inside the brain, it can sometimes be way more effort than it needs to be, or way more exhausting than I'll gain benefit out of it. I have had various sources teaching me how to meditate. I've watched short little exemplary minute meditations on YouTube, or short meditations. There are a number of those out there available. I have attended a martial arts club where a black belt with many years of meditation experience taught us simple techniques. And I have read a moderate amount about meditation stuff. So the principles I'm familiar with, the ways, the methods to do it, I have come across and learned some about. I wouldn't call myself an amateur or even a beginner, but at least I'm able to draw on some of that knowledge to help my situation. It does help with obsessions, not so much the tics, and ticking with meditation is interesting. It requires a high level of forgiveness, non-judgment towards myself, which is maybe something that I struggle with, but another concept that I'm aware of and play with daily. The next topic, the next strategy, is hypnosis. When I breathe like that, I'm bringing in calm and comfort, breathing out anxiety or stress. So if you ever see me breathe in and out like that, that is what I'm doing. Now, hypnosis deals with the language of the subconscious, the unconscious. We have multiple different states that we pass through. These are very natural states of mind. An example would be sleeping. And even within sleeping, there's multiple states. So there's the dream state. There's the deeply asleep, non-dreaming. It's usually where a deep tissue repair happens. There's falling asleep when everything is heavy and warm. You haven't quite fallen asleep yet, or when you're waking up. There's studying like a book, or academic situations. And then there's athletic states of mind where you're very energetic and active and your brain is really paying attention, but there's still a sense of focus. Each state has its own language. So when someone is sleeping, they still have sensory input from the outside. And this isn't the conscious, it's the unconscious that keeps an eye on these things. But that part of us, our inner mind, the one that takes care of the heart rate and taking in oxygen, also takes care of external awareness. And a lot of people woke up, whether it was because of sound or something else sensory, it doesn't matter, still picks up light changes in the environment and is aware of the sun coming up and will begin to bring the person out of the sleeping state. What hypnosis allows to help the person enter a different state from the one that they're in intentionally. And this has areas of helpfulness in a lot of other areas. Being creative, focusing on things, having a better memory. And it's something that I do. And when I explore hypnosis on YouTube or with friends, it gives me more leeway or more, it gives me a distance from mental chaos, obsessions, compulsions, but also tic pressure. There is actually maybe not a reduction in tic pressure, but an extending of the critical moment, what I call the critical moment, when tic pressure becomes too unbearable and a tic must be done to relieve the pressure, to relieve the discomfort. Hypnosis allows me to lengthen the amount of time until the critical moment becomes a reality. And it does many things too. It helps relax. It gives me some measure of control over the focus and direction of thoughts and movements. And it can be connected to a touch so that fulfilling, or like a dial on a switchboard, it gives me a dial that I can use to support moving or activity that I need to do, or it can also give me a dial that I can adjust for disruptive things.